Welcome back to the Division 2. In this video, we are looking at the build, however many times I need to say that to get to 14. I did the calculations, I can fit within 100 characters the word build 14 times. There's a reason I'm doing it, and it's thanks to the other content creators on this platform. You've even got new people coming along and just showing build after build, so I thought I'd join in the fun and improve on one of their builds. That person being Epic Slayers, he made a foul DPS build. I thought, why not? I can make a build better than that, fairly simply with the stuff I have in my inventory, because you know I actually play the game, and I play the hardest difficulties in the game. So I put together just a rough sort of build. You guys can use it as a foundation if you want, but I'm not saying this is like the best in the game or anything like that. This is simply just an AR build I've chucked together. So there are people like Nothing But Skills, 5 builds in the matter of a week. Epic Slayers has now put out a couple of builds, and I don't really think, like my personal opinion, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't have any experience with these builds or anything like that. And I can't really speak for anyone else. I don't bother with anyone else's channels that much. There are a couple that I watch here and there, but I don't see too many people making as many builds as these guys are making. Well, Epic Slayers has just joined in. He's probably going to start making loads more, because I see it as when you start putting out build after build after build, sort of like Nick 2 did back in the day. It was a build every other video. When you do that sort of stuff, you just have no content. You've got nothing planned for your channel. So there is a little thing I've made up. When you run out of content, post a build or 10. And I've left that on, I think I replied to someone on Epic Slayer's comments, because they was like, oh, this ain't a great build. I was like, exactly. The build isn't amazing. Anyone can get a build similar. Like, there's a part of it that's personal preference as well. A lot of people might not like the magazine size in the FAL. You never know. Like, a build isn't going to be for everyone regardless. But this build that he's put together isn't great at all. The stats, like, it's not optimized. It's not even partially optimized. This is just thrown together with a couple of talents to talk about and a gun to have a look at to try and just bring in extra revenue. So this entire video is to take the piss, really, and just show that I put no effort or thought into this build and it's better than Epic Slayers. Because he's whacked on his thumbnail like 8 million damage, and his title's like 8 million plus damage, and then you get into the video, not once does he actually hit 8 million. So what I'm going to do before I actually show you the build is I'll show you the DPS I hit with this. I'm going to do exactly the same thing he did. I'm going to put the enemy onto elite, because that's all he did. I'm going to set it up to a 5 meter distance, and then I'm going to get headshots. 7.6, let's go again. There you go, 9 million DPS. Reset that again. 8.9, might as well round that up, it's 18,000 short of 9 million. Let's go again. 7.6. So this is hitting for a minimum of like 7.6, providing I hit my shots. That's because I missed a couple of shots. Let's aim right on the noggin. 9 million. It's hitting for in between 7.5 and 9 million damage. Oh, there you go, 9.9. So, fuck it. That's a 10 million DPS. It's not, it's 9.9. But that's a 10 million DPS AR right there. In between 7.5 and 9.9 million. Epic Slayers was hitting between 5.7 million or something like that. Something stupid. Or 6 million or something. And like 7.9. And he's talking about it hitting for like 8.7 million and 8 million and all this stuff. No. You've got to look at the numbers. It's not hard to read these fucking numbers. But you've seen it. DPS, 9.9 mil I can hit with this AR. So let's jump into the build. It's the P416. I've got it perfect. Strained, damage to targets out of cover, health damage, assault rifle damage. Running the M1A as backup. Got a new one of those. I'm literally 1% damage to targets out of cover away from that being perfect. Any random pistol, don't care. I'm running the crossbow. I don't even know why I've got it on this build. I just have. I think I used it for, if I remember correctly, it's for protection from elite. You get 10%, because I don't really plan to use this when I'm running in a group. Then we have my mask. There is 3 pieces of providence on this build, and you'll see that it's all basically spec'd on crit chance, crit damage, and weapon damage, with the mods being crit damage. So we have the mask, we've got the perfect backpack I've got with vigilance. Always run vigilance on a DPS build, it's my go-to. As long as you're not getting hit and you're careful, you've got 25% extra weapon damage. You only lose the buff for 4 seconds. You don't even realise a lot of the time when you're losing the buff, but it's a 4-second loss if you get hit. Then I've got a Fenris chest, so I get the AR damage in the build. Again, it's pretty much perfect. Well, it is perfect besides the crit chance. If I could, I'd roll glass cannon off it for obliterate. I don't really want to use glass cannon, but I've got no choice because of that crit chance. And then we look at the Grupo Sombra gloves. I need to get a better pair of these or just change them out for something else on the build because of the lack of headshot damage on that attribute. Perfect Fox's Prayers. There's no point even talking about these. It's a no-brainer. If you're not running them, put them on your build right now. They are the best in slot, have been for a long time, even after their nerf. And yes, for those of you that have said it before, I've re-rolled them to crit damage. But then moving on to the holster, again, weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage. So if we look at my build, if we look at the stats, I run the Revive Hive and Fixer drone, by the way. Look at the stats. We've got 115,000 base damage on the P416 with a 59.9% crit chance. Then we have 174.5% crit damage, 97.8% headshot damage. That's about 18% higher than Epic Slayers. The crit damage is about 40% better, and the crit chance is about 7 or 8% better. And I haven't even bothered putting time and effort into this build. I just chucked on a Fenris piece, switched around a couple of Providence pieces, and that was it. Bob's your uncle. I don't know why people show builds all the bloody time. If you've got the pieces, then you can put them together in seconds. And if you know what you're talking about, you know what you're looking for. Like, a build is only really good for a new player. And there are a lot of new players or whatever, but they're not always going to come to a YouTuber looking for builds. Stop posting them. Think of other content. So then you look at my weapons, the damage is 99.9%, then 40 for the AR. Vigilance, glass cannon, I've got Providence and stuff there. Then you've got all my other stats, which are irrelevant because it's not a defense build, like survivability or anything, and it's not a skill build. And that's it. I'm seeing people that are posting builds, they're not showing stats. If you want to look at my attachments, like, this stuff doesn't take long to go through. My attachments, crit damage, rounds for the marksman mag on the M1A, and then crit damage again. Then if you look at the P416, always do these attachments so that if you haven't got enough crit chance, then you can get up to 60% because that's the cap. If you're maxed on the crit chance, whack on crit damage. You don't need stability and accuracy and stuff like that. You just got to learn to control the guns. It's not a hard thing to do. Once you get used to it, it might take a little while. I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do. But once you are used to the gun, you're going to benefit from extra damage because you don't need to use stability and accuracy mods and shit like that. It's a very easy process. Get used to the gun you're using. Make sure you are looking after your builds. Don't go through 100 different builds in a matter of a week. Just try and perfect one build. It's going to be so much more beneficial. You'll have experience. It'll fit to your playstyle in the end once you've got your build together. So we've got the crit damage from the red dot sight. We also have the 20 extra rounds from the 5.56 extended sturdy mag. Then we've got crit chance because I was a 54.9. So that puts me up to 0.1% below 60, which is the cap. And then we have crit chance again, because I'm guessing it was 49.9 beforehand. So 2 crit chance gives me 10% extra. Boom, I'm up to nearly max. So what we're going to do quickly, just to show you that this can actually kill people and it's not some complete dog shit build. It is actually capable. We're going to go take down the named boss just to the south of the White House, as we normally do. And another thing I'm going to quickly talk about, for those of you that don't know, glass cannon is the riskiest talent to run in this game. It's a very sketchy talent. The normal variant will give you 25% extra, amplified damage, so it's multiplicative. Whereas at the same time, you are taking an extra 50% amplified damage from the enemies. If you have the perfect variant on the Sacrifice named Providence chest, you are going to be dealing an extra 30% amplified damage, but taking 60. There's an offset that's double to the damage you're dealing amplified. 25 what you'll deal, so 50 what you'll take, and then for the perfect variant of the talent, you're going to deal 30 but take 60. Because that's another thing. All these people talk about their builds and they don't talk about the talents and explain to people what they do. So you can see that accuracy isn't great on this P4, but still gets the job done. And I'm probably going to die. I don't know if they can hit me through here. But that's what I mean. Try not to run glass cannon unless you absolutely need that damage. Because it is so risky. You can see just how fast I'm absolutely tearing through these enemies. Dead. I don't know where this other enemy is. And ready. Once I get them down to health damage. If I can actually fucking hit them. There we go. Enemy's done. And then you look at the loot, and you see, oh, there we go. Absolute shit. And believe it or not, I've just remembered this. This P4 that I have, absolutely, it rolled perfect with the attributes. I just had to modify the talent. I got this from a named boss that spawns here, and I did it during a build video, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's my P416 AR build. Just whatever, run a P416. There's loads of different guns. Right now, the FAMAS is quite good. Epic Slayers is seeming to like the FAL. I like the P416, always have done. And then all you really want to do is run 3-piece Providence, so you're getting that crit chance, headshot damage, crit damage. You want to run Fenris if you've got an AR, because obviously there's assault rifle damage. Grupo Sombra, if you're low on chance, you can switch that out for Seska. If you're not too worried about the extra damage, then you want to run Fox's Prayers, because they're just best in slot for any DPS build. And not only that, you can run an M1A or something because you get rifle damage from it. It's as simple as that. It's not hard to put a build together. They might not all be great. I'm not saying this is the best. I know a lot of players that have much better builds than this. But at the end of the day, I made this video just to take the piss. You can see there's 14... The word build is in this title 14 times. Because I'm getting sick and tired of seeing people posting builds all the time. They're posting them about, oh, use this weapon, use that weapon, use this talent, use that talent, use this piece, use that piece. Fuck off. There's nothing new in the game. There's nothing you can show. The only reason I'm doing another one of these videos, a more serious one with my rifle build, is because it took me 7 months to put it together. It's an achievement, and I want to be able to showcase that on the channel so that when this game dies out or in years to come, I can just look back and go, oh my god, I made that build. I remember using it. It was so fucking strong. Like, it's a big accomplishment getting perfect pieces. They are tough to get. Like, I would say the gloves, the knees, and the holster aren't too bad. Oh, and the mask as well. It's mainly the chest, your weapon, and the backpack, because you have to get the talents as well. But all you got to do to get this sort of stuff is just farm the shit out of Legendary and Heroic. I know that's not an easy task by any means. I know the grind it takes. I know the effort, like your morale within your team, or if you're playing solo, like, is mentally draining. It takes a long time. But at the end of the day, if you're playing the Division 2, you know what the grind is about. That's all this game is based on. But yeah, please, if you're a content creator and you've seen this, stop fucking putting out builds so often. It gets so annoying. Like, I come to your channel and I'm looking at your content. I don't want to see, oh, use this weapon because this weapon's, oh, it's selling really well at the vendors, and then look at the vendor and the rolls are shit. They're trash. Or you'll get someone that, oh, look at this talent, it's amazing. The talent's been in the game for 10 months or something, and they've only just figured out to use it. But they haven't. They've probably been using it for ages, but been saving it for the quote-unquote, oh, I need content. Use your minds. You're content creators. Be creative. But on that note, I'm going to leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about it in the comments. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.